Going to be an interesting one. We're going to talk about the Black Knight satellite connection to the Navy pilot that said the UFO was not of this world. Number one, this is supposedly a 7,000 or 8,000 year old satellite. Got cut off the image a little bit. Orbiting Earth with radio signals. Take a look at that. Okay. Very clear. Okay. They weren't lying when they had those images. And take a look at that. Now once again, do you see it yet? Do you see it? Look at the jaggedness of that thing. And then look at this thing here. Do you see? I want to point out right here, there's two points on the upper edge. Now this thing looks like a knife if you look at it just right? But on the up to the right, upper right hand side, there's 2 points, 2 spikes. Now clear indications usually give us clear indications. Now if you notice down to the bottom right, on the right side, it looks to be like there's 2 spikes there. Once again. And on the opposite side, there tends to be, now only if you flip this object around, upside down, flip it upside down and compare it to that one, and it'll match up exactly to a T. It'll match up exactly to a T. Okay? This point over here that sticks out on the left-hand side, close to the middle, would actually be on the upper left-hand side, and those 2 little spikes would actually be down on the lower right-hand side, and it would look just like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what the object is. It's the Black Knight satellite that's been up there for 10,000, 8,000 years, or however long, 13,000 years, whatever they're saying, right? Alright, now I want to come over here real quick. This is the map. This is the map of the world. Okay? Now what I did was, I saw an image that had popped out to me. It stood out, and there it is right there. Now that kind of reminded me of Pan's Labyrinth. I don't know who remembers Pan's Labyrinth, but that it kind of, in that movie, it kind of shows you that the beast is a behind-the-scenes type of monster. It works from the shadows and only comes out when it's time. Alright? Now, the reason why that's up there is because the beast's image resides on the world map. You understand that? And everything revolves around the satanic beast system. Now, I made a video the other day about chemtrails, but I happened to find some new pictures here. So, let's just go over these. And I don't know if you like how I did what I did here with the photos. I kind of lined them all up. I'm using this new photo editor, ladies and gentlemen, that will allow me to crunch pictures together, kind of like crunching numbers. Because I want to get the whole story out. But I want to be able to show you in a group cluster of everything I'm talking about instead of flicking from one picture to the other, because if you can't see the other pictures with that picture, it makes no sense of what the person's saying, because you can't get an overall view or image. Now, I want you to notice something here. Alright, up the top row, going across from left to right, A, B, and C. They're not lettered, they're not numbered. You can pretty much figure out what I'm talking about from top left to right. Chemtrails, HAARP antennas equals what? These right here. Waves. There's a picture from my house, outside of my house. Once again, waves. All right? And they're not only doing it with HAARP. That's why I put the plane with the device at the bottom of it, too. Because when HAARP shoots up a frequency, this plane can force the frequency in a certain direction. They control weather doing that. Now, I touched on the topic about the UFO crafts that I had shown on Google Earth. I'm not certain if you remember that, but it had a hexagonal pattern, the same as that, the grid layout of the land. Now, everything consists of hexagons. I don't know if you noticed that. Your lug nuts, your Allen wrenches, whatever you got in your toolbox. I mean, everything's pretty much hexagon. Star of David, the hexagon's inside of that. Bill Nye Saves the World. The hexagons are all over in that. They flash hexagons in commercials and TV, movies. We were getting for a while on the video, we were getting hexagonal images off the sun as a refraction. But I want you to notice that this right here was a test that was conducted, this right-hand picture above the word I. That picture, that was conducted in a frequency test for levitating things. And these are people at home doing this now. So people at home are figuring it out. I can only imagine what the government has. On to the next one. Boom. Just like what's the name does. Now this is an interesting topic. Because what you have here is you have a sun with wings. A fucking sun with wings, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is going to be for my next video, but I'm going to show you the ancient Egypt structure on their walls, their imaging of the very same thing, just painted up as a bird. But it's identical match to the T. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They were giving us a timeline. When we see this, you'll know this is where we are on this timeline. So that's going to be for another video, but this here was done by, and I'm going to get his fucking name right this time, MRMB333. Bam! And that's another explosion. Now, to carry on, I also wanted to, I'm going to connect this symbol right here, okay, with the images of Jesus Christ, with the with that cross image behind his head that they call a halo. The Bible never mentions halos for nothing. The Bible never mentions halos for nothing. I don't care who you are. I proved that in my one video I did on YouTube, Timeline to the End, Part 2, and Ezekiel Exposed, I showed images connecting and definitions for words in Ezekiel that people don't understand, or throughout Revelations. If you haven't seen Timeline to the End, Part 2, I found the Timeline to the End, Part 2, I suggest you go over and watch it, because what it's going to do is it's going to confirm everything that you've been thinking. Some things you may not agree with, not asking you to, but go there. Go to that video and watch it. Now, I do a lot of rambling. I take myself off the topic sometimes, but whatever I talk about is usually right on point. It's never off point, and it all makes sense. But even if you have to pause the video and read over it, take a look at some of the images, and just let it marinate for a minute or two, you'll come to an understanding and a realization, and the light bulb will flick and turn on in your head. And you'd be like, oh, shit, they're telling us something. They're telling us something. Because, I mean, look at the grid lay patterns right there. Excuse me, this thing likes to turn very easy. But look at those grid lay patterns right there. Doesn't that remind you of the Fibonacci flower sequence, the starting of the Fibonacci sequence? And then you got the Knights Templar or Freemasonry imagery. Now all these things play a key role. I know how they make anti-gravity without having to do all that effing chemtrailing and frequencies being emitted. See, in order to get something to float on top of the clouds, they have to throw a frequency in it from underneath to be able to get anything made of metal to float on top. So they get anything made of metal to float on top, they can put solar panels up there. See what I'm saying? Ah, Jesus. This always happens, guys. Right in the middle of a video, somebody wants to call from out of state, and it's only during the videos, really. Pardon me for that. That was one of those scam calls. But let me continue where I left off. Now, true levitation is creating a field around you to where it's like you're standing still and time for you is frozen, or for them outside of the sphere that you're in, and for you everything speeds up, but everything for them is frozen. Like if you were to instantly go fast forward in time and you were to create a field around you, so to say, let me paint a mental image for your mind. What you would see is everything around you fast forward in age. Okay? But what everybody else would see is they would see you disappear. They would see you just vanish from thin air. Okay? So it's kind of difficult to explain, but with this levitation for the crafts involves many magnets going opposite of each other. And they have to be in 4 disc shaped patterns because they have to spin opposite of each other. That's how it throws the balance the way it's supposed to be. You ever pick up a fan and turn it straight up and down and try to wobble it? Yeah, it's kind of weird how it moves when you wobble it. Well, consider it just like magnets, except for without a fan blade blowing around air. This thing's not blowing around anything. It's just using the force of the magnets that are speeding up, which you can accelerate and de-accelerate with a control mechanism like a volume knob. It's not that hard. You just piece the pieces together and you can create it right at your own house. But you got to know what you're doing. You got to know, you create a field around you. Well, you got a device to control that field, to make the field stronger or weaker, or stop the field? Because the stronger the field, the more of an effect it may have. It may fast forward in time faster, the more power you give it. It only seems logical for that to be. And when you slow the device down, it slowly comes out and stops. So, those are just some things to think of, ladies and gentlemen. But, 13,000-year-old satellite orbiting Earth sends radio signals. And that was a long while ago. And it's made its appearance here. It's made its appearance. It's not playing. It's this very object. Now, here's what I'm going to do for you. One time and one time only. I'm going to go over. I'm going to do this just for you guys. Bear with me because it'll be worth it. I'm going to take both of the pictures and I'm going to put them side by side just for you. Yes, just for you. We're going to put them side by side. And I'm going to turn the one photo so you can understand what I'm talking about. Screenshots. Let's see. All right. Real quick. This has that hexagon pattern. I don't know why I just did that. I forgot I was even in this. All right, let's do this again. I'll have to show you for another video. The hexagonal pattern structure is a layout. It's a grid. It represents DNA, everything. Once again, let's do this. Sorry about the time it's taking. Okay. You see what I'm doing? Do you see it yet? You will. Pay attention, because this is where it gets interesting. As above, so below. Flip everything upside down and turn it around. Isn't that what the Bible says to you? So, I listen to the Bible. Now, I'm going to do exactly what the fucking Bible is saying. See, that image was supposed to be flipped around, so I'm going to have to flip that image around to keep coordinate with these images here. Fox News. Alright, let's do this. Shit, no. You know, this thing gets a bit tricky. It throws your photos around, and then you can't hit X on the object to get rid of it. It sits there and sits there and sits there and moves around. Some of these things are the worst, but I'm not paying to use any of their shit for them to still have complete control over what I'm doing. So if they go out of business and their site gets deleted, all your shit is gone. You can't even, some of the shit you can't even download, to be quite honest. Alright. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, it won't allow me? Alright. Alright. Basically, this is going to look like a mirror image. Okay. Turn it a little bit more. Check mark. Check mark, check mark. Hold on. Oh, man. Why did I do that? You gotta be kidding me. See, this never works the way I want it to. Ever. Fucking ever. Right during a live video. And now I'm trying to get out of here. See, that thing freezes up your phone too, ladies and gentlemen. When you go in there, it fucking freezes your phone up. This is what I'm going to have to do. Just like this. I'll turn it to the side. I'll get it over here. If it'll stop moving around on its own. Okay? We'll do that. This is simple. Not hard to do. Simple, simple. Now, go back in. We'll hit create new. Screw this. Hey, you guys are on a ride with me, right? Fuck it. Let's get it. At least you see the original video content here. You don't see me screwing around and editing my video and seeing my voice cut out on me right in the fucking middle of, you know what I'm saying? So, you got these guys out here that are fucking jokes. Alright, we got this over here. Bammo. We're going to add another photo now. Right here. This is going to be the punch right here. Here's the punch. Okay? Here's the punch, guys. Now, if we flip this one upside down, which I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can. Rotate it. Ah, it won't let me. It won't let me rotate it, but this is a mirror image of that piece right there. Except for one's up and one's down. I can't flip it around. See, I want to flip it, but it doesn't allow me to. I wonder if... I'll figure out how to do a mirror image with this, guys, but... Point blank, what you're looking at right here That blue one just needs to be flipped upside down. That's it. That's it. I mean, but other than that, it's a fucking identical match. It's really close. See, the image that is being reported by the news and the Air Force, they blurred that fucking image out. But this is the image right there, the Black Knight image. So I figured if you guys are going to get it, you might as well get it real, instead of bullshit. Now, remember this piece right here, ladies and gents. This piece right here. Because I'm about to bring your focus over here right now. We're going to do this. Now, also, remember that dish. See, here's the image. Here we go. Okay? Here's, plain and simple. We'll screenshot this. Okay? Here you go. Okay? Let's see here. Let's go here. See? All right. Now I want to show you something because this is very important. These things right here are very fucking important. Actually, I want that gone, so I want a clean picture because when I put together a collage of things, these are all going to relate to everything that's going on. Now I find this fun. Look at that one. They all seem to have a sun up top of their head or behind their head. Like I said, there's no mention of a halo in the Bible. There's no mention of angels having a halo in the Bible. Because that thing represents the sun. Okay? Let's get another picture here. Let's take a look at that one. Wow. Jesus seems to have a history of having the same type of staff that the Egyptians carried around. You think that was just a sheep herding staff? I don't think so. Not at all. Take it some more. Alright? Now remember what I said to you about this halo above his head. That's very important. Because what will be next will be last trumpet. Let me see. No, couldn't go. I'm not going to retry it now. I'm in the middle of the video. Alright, well, let's just do it. Okay? This follows the Jesus picture. And these are some of the oldest documents when it comes down to it. We're talking Nikola Tesla. Hello? Now, this is another piece I should have thrown in there. But you see how they got the levitating globe? And the globe looks like it's levitating off of a globe type of structure. Well, imagine that globe being a UFO. And imagine that globe type structure being the Earth. And imagine the electromagnetic frequency being generated through the space in between the two objects. And what they're doing is they're throwing so much pollutants up there, so much electricity worth of particles, is what they want to do is they want to make it a layer. They would prefer the sun to shine all the way to the surface if they can somehow figure out a way, like they've done with dyed water, turning the water clear again. If they could turn the clouds clear, even though it's still there, you just don't see it. You see, there's a big difference, but they're destroying us. They're terraforming everything. There's no way in or out of the system as of right now. We're kind of screwed. But take a look at this. This is very important. It's very important right here. I should probably save this for another video. But I'll leave you with this piece right here. Sun halo. Look at the halo. Look at the cross behind his head. It's used in everything. There's the cross in a diamond pyramid type structure above and below. You can see the line separating the two pyramid structures to create a diamond. Okay? Where do you think this knowledge is coming from? Well, I would say that those symbols, to me, they represent ancient times. I mean, really. We've got too much evidence here that suggests that they went to the sun. Oh, look at that. The bird with the sun above its head along with the one with the wings below. You tell me, ladies and gentlemen, you tell me. On that note, well, on that note, guys, I suppose I'll leave you to it. But think about that. Think about that Black Knight satellite.